Hi Stampers, I'm Meg from Loven Stamps, and I have another project to share with you using the Love What You Do stamp set, which is the sneak peek from the upcoming catalog that starts June 1st. Share What You Love bundles are available through my store in May, which gets you basically like $6, $20, or $30 in free products, so make sure you check out those options. And here's the card that I'm going to teach you right now. It features the paper, the Share What You Love Designer Series paper. Can you see the iridescence on there? It's really pretty, and this card features a number of the things that are included in that sneak peek bundle. So let me give you some tips and tricks for making the most out of this Designer Series paper. Let's get stamping. Okay, so set your directions aside, and then the first thing you want to do when you open this packet is to admire the paper. I mean, seriously, it's just gorgeous with the iridescence, and ta-da! The doily has some iridescence too, so I'll give you a couple of choices for using that on your card. One, you can feature the iridescent side, or you can go ahead with the color. All right, so easy pie. First step here, go ahead and attach your Designer Series paper. So this piece is 4 inches wide by 5 1/4 to layer on just a half sheet card. And then there's this contrasting paper here, which is meant to go down at the bottom. And that is just a nice match. I love when the papers front and back mix and match so that you get such nice effects. And for our greeting on this card, I'm going to show you a trick with a stamp set. So see how thank you here is one word? What I did was actually take a pair of scissors and gasp, alarm, I cut my stamp actually. So let me show you a tip for cutting this though. I cut it unevenly. Do you see how there's a big like a jag there? What I did that on purpose because I wanted to have 2 puzzle pieces that fit clearly together so that if I decide in the future that I want to have thank you be all in one line, then I can go ahead and reattach those pieces on the block so that they give me exactly what I want. But in the meantime, lots of times I like thank you to fit on a circle, and so this is just perfect to be able to have my thank you from this stamp serve me as a center. There we go. All right. Then the other thing I'm going to grab from this is the old olive ink pad, which is included in the smallest bundle. But I think that they assume that you have this already if you are getting one of the bigger bundles. So just be aware that you wouldn't have this if you got one of the bigger bundles. You just want to add it if you don't already have old olive for this card. All right. Which brings us to the last pieces here, our doily. And you can use a sponge brayer to go ahead and pick up ink and do that. Or you can go crazy, and I'm just going to use a clear block and press my doily in and just run along here. So now we have our green, our old olive ink here on the back. And you kind of repeat as desired until you get the color that you want. Oh, that's nice and bright. Now I'm inking actually the flat white side. The side that is pearlescent is not going to hold the ink. It'll resist, so it'll continually rub off there. So that might not be what you really want to do. Anyway, I'm going to set this aside to dry and then clean my block. But let me show you this paper here. So depending on what piece of paper you have, there might be some whole flowers, there might be some partial flowers. You got a lot of variety, but let me show you on my sample. Like this flower here was actually a partial flower, so I just tucked it under my circle. This flower here, you can actually, I didn't quite get it. This was a partial flower too. So no matter what is on your piece here, you have a chance to use those to a cool advantage. So I'm just gonna grab this corner here, and this watercolor paper is absolutely beautiful. Just the neat effects and so forth. So go ahead and take your extra piece of the paper here and go ahead and cut out, I'm going to skip that leaf, cut out the pieces that you want, and then we'll talk a little bit about adding the collage elements back together. Okay, so we have a variety of pieces that we've cut out from our paper here. Here's what's left. I didn't use that big one, although you certainly could. And I'm going to start by attaching our doily. So I'm going to pop some dimensionals here on the back. Oh, you know what? On my sample, I put the doily underneath there. I think that kind of held it together. That's okay. we'll just do it this way now. All right, so we have our doily attached, and then I want to start to add back some of those flower elements. So before I glue anything down, I'm just going to piece things together a little bit. Some of them I might have overlapping the top, some of them I might just tuck completely underneath, and any of those straight edges there, those are candidates for tucking under our flowers. So now when you get kind of the look that you want, you can go back and start adding some Stampin' Dimensionals to things. And I like things to pop up so that that just adds extra interest to the dimension of our card. And sometimes I don't put the dimensional in the middle. Sometimes I pop it on the side so that this piece might pop up over here but be pushed down a little bit as it gets closer there to the center. So, and then there where I got smudge from my green ink, I'm going to go ahead and cover that up with a flower. And this is when the mini Stampin' Dimensionals sure come in handy for covering or for adding to things that are just a little bit smaller there. So we'll pop that there, and then let's see, maybe I'm almost done here. So the last thing I'm going to show you is adding this fun, oops, that's a little bit too far out. Make sure your pieces don't go past the edge of your card. There we go. The last thing I'm going to show you is a piece from the Share What You Love embellishment kit. And these little kits are great. They'll be available sort of a la carte in the new catalog, but in the meantime, they're part of the Share What You Love bundle, and they're one of the items you get for free, and there are two kinds of thread included. This one is the green striped thread, and there are a whole bunch of little fun embellishments. But what I'm doing is I'm taking this thread and tripling it. So I have 3 strands, and then I'm just going to tie a bow. So I'm holding this loop, go around there, push the set of 3 strands back through the hole so that I have a fun triple bow. Sometimes when a thread like this is just really small, it doesn't really have that visual mass on its own to just tie a single string bow, but this one as a triple works really well. I'm going to clip the ends because I don't really want my looped ends to show, but make your life easier. Sometimes don't clip those until after you've tied your bow. And then for this I just need a mini glue dot to attach it, and I'm going to go ahead and pop it on right here. So I'll just pop this on the back here and stick that on our card. And that gives us our very fun and finished Stamps the Mail Club card using this gorgeous Share What You Love Designer Series paper. And in the largest bundle, you actually get a full pack of this Designer Series paper. It is absolutely beautiful. It's a double package of paper, and the paper is extra thick. So you just have a lot of nice choices for boxes and things like that with it. Let me know if you need a Stamps the Mail Club kit. I would love to get one to you for making all these fun projects, including the set of note cards and the little gift basket. And I look forward to sharing more projects with you soon. Happy stamping!